how to be the person that you want to be, how to live from your wish already fulfilled, no matter what's going on today on Awakening with Amy. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Amy Valentine, certified life coach, hoping to awaken within you a mindset that you can be, do, and have any desire. And today we're going to talk all things Neville Goddard again and wish fulfilled. What did Neville Goddard mean by living from your wish fulfilled? Well, he is talking about an inner state of consciousness, an inner conviction of who you really are. Your I amness, your consciousness of being. Wish fulfilled is not a fleeting, 3D feeling or emotion. I mean, we always are having thoughts. We're always having feelings that are always changing. That isn't wish fulfilled. Wish fulfilled is the connection with, alignment with your inner being, your soul, who you really are, that changeless part of you, the part of us that's eternal, that goes on when this physical body goes away, right? So wish fulfilled, living from wish fulfilled is about awakening to who you really are and living from that state of consciousness, no matter what has already been created in your life, no matter what you've already done, right? It's all about the power of assumption. That's what Neville talks about in all his books, is the law of assumption, which is really just based on the law of being, which was taught in scripture, that beingness, that everything that is we're living is the first cause is who we are being, right? That the effects are the physical, tangible cause of an unseen reality that's going on within us. The stories that we tell ourselves within. So once we awaken to that conversation, those inner stories, right? And become the uncritical observer, as Neville likes to say. He says that's the only way to really become awake and aware of your power of assumption, your power as creator. So let me read a quote, and then I'm going to go into a real life example of wish fulfilled. Here's a quote from Neville to help us understand this a little deeper. Everything depends upon its attitude towards itself. That which it will not affirm as true of itself cannot awaken in its world. In other words, every assumption has its own corresponding outer world. As within, so without. And Neville's saying our self-concept, who we believe we are, who we assume we are in relation to everything else, is what becomes our life experience. And that's always changeable. We can change that in any moment when we choose to come from that higher I am instead of the small me, right? As above. Above what? Above the 3D, the physical world, above what you can see or what has already been, above the way the ego presents itself within your consciousness. The ego is just that part of us that's always unfulfilled. It's always miserable. It's always telling us to be afraid to expand or, limit yourself because, you might it might not happen. So why expand? Just stay safe, stay where you are. The ego only knows whatever has been. It doesn't have any creative thought. It's the ego. The ego isn't wrong. It's just limited. It's limited by its own fear. It's the fog, right? So we have to take the red pill and get out of the matrix. The ego is the matrix. It's not real. It's made up. We make it up. Why? We need that relativity. How do we know who we really are until we experience who we aren't? And we come here in a physical body with amnesia for that reason. We know as a soul that we're going to have amnesia in a physical body because we're coming for that relativity, to awaken to who we really are in a physical world body so we can expand the universe. I mean, isn't that cool? Think about how powerful that is. So living from wish fulfilled isn't a fleeting thought or feeling of satisfaction. No, it's that inner conviction of who you really are, that I'm always connected with source energy. That part of you that's eternal, that never dies, right? That never fades like your physical body does. So that power of assumption, that power of going within, being that uncritical observer of all your circumstances is how you transcend it. It's literally taking the red pill. So the ego is only living from wish not fulfilled. Just keep that in mind. Just remember that. Every time something happens, who you are being, that's what's driving your action. And we get caught up, we all do, we get caught up trying to take action to fix what we don't want. And what I'm saying is we have to be still and go within and know who we really are, right? So let me read you an example. This is from my college friend, Tony, that he emailed me, or messaged me anyway, that something that happened to him. And it just awakened him to that broader perspective of who he really is. So let me just read you this short little part of the message. Amy, I started to listen to your newest podcast, got distracted, but then came back after breakfast and started again. Wow, I love that you mentioned me and gave me some great personal advice. This is in the last video. I'm in Minnesota treating myself to a Vikings training camp. I connected with the chief operating officer of the Vikings on LinkedIn, and he graciously met with me and gave me advice on switching careers from healthcare back to sports. I guess I've been so busy soothing my recently bruised ego that I missed the divine intervention that was already happening. The fact that he took the time to talk to someone he didn't know and give advice to someone in another industry about how to follow their desire, then connecting again with you and actually listening to your podcast are helping me think differently. Divine intervention, Amy, you have opened my eyes. Oh, that makes me tear up. This is why I'm doing these videos, not just because I love doing them, but because my eyes are opening in the process. I'm awakening with everyone, and this is my dream. This is my highest ideal. So thank you so much, Tony. Let me break down what he did. He literally reached out to this person on LinkedIn. That was a desire, a divine urge to be something more. And he allowed it to unfold without being attached to the outcome. He had no attachment. He said he treated himself. Well, that's his higher self talking to him and saying, go this way, do this, do that. He's being moved by that inner being, instead of being moved by the ego. And then I loved how he called out the ego, that he was so caught up in the ego's perspective of having disappointments and not knowing what to do, right? Or what to be, that it distracted him from who he really is, which is fulfillment. And then that led on his path of least resistance to having that meeting. I mean, that person meeting with him, he didn't even know him or know anybody connected with him. He met with them for 15 minutes just to share. Think about how the power in that. So if Tony can do it, so can you. So can all of us. Just really important. Just let go of the ego. Don't try to negate it in your life. Embrace it. Understand its message and then go higher. And listen to that higher part of you, because that higher part of you is always fulfillment, and it's always leading you on your path to your fulfillment now. And there's only now ever. So, focus is a powerful way to create your reality. So you want to focus around the unwanted circumstances, focus around the ego by just letting it all be there, not fighting it. That's the non-resistance Florence Scovel Shinn talks about. Resist nothing. That is the secret to living from your wish fulfilled. Resist nothing. Know everything that happens in your experience is for you. Every person is a golden link in the chain of your good, whether you know it or not. Just assume that. Cultivate that assumption, because that assumption is coming from a person who, a self-concept, like Neville likes to say, that can be, do, and have anything. And that's the only belief you need. So, just a reminder, wish fulfilled is alignment with your higher self. It's not a fleeting feeling, emotion that we experience as humans. It's who we really are. And it's always available to you. You just have to choose it every single day. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for liking and sharing the video. That helps get this message out to more people. And thank you for subscribing. I love you all, and our channel is growing. And yeah, until next time, be fulfilled.